Greetings from New York City. This is Chris Franco, and I have a treat for you guys. Andrei Jikh just doesn't know when to stop, and unfortunately for him, neither do I. Before we get into things, I just want to thank everyone who listened to the CMQ Investing podcast over the last year. I just found out from Spotify that we were in the top 1% most followed podcasts and most shared podcasts, and that is globally, by the way. What this channel represents is really, it's the antithesis of all these low-grade, scumbag, grifting, perverse incentive system living pieces of you-know-what that are littering YouTube and other places with their content. And the worst part is they actually seem like they know what they're talking about. Let's get into the subject of this video, who, in my personal opinion, is a prime example of someone who is misleading people, oftentimes young people, down a path to what will almost certainly be some sort of financial destruction. So Andrei, in this video that he put out a couple weeks ago, at the very end of it, he says this, and this really perked my antennas up, and I really want you to see this.
I was offered a ton of money to promote specific NFTs over these last few years, and I'm very happy to say that I've never taken on a sponsorship to promote any specific asset. I've never done that, and it just seems like they're being used to just make a quick buck with, and that's not very exciting.
What Andrei does, I'm going to show you here. You want to come up here? Come here. Look at that little boy. What do you think of Andrei Jikh?
Oh, I've not seen anything worse since when the Queen died, father. I didn't get to go to the Jubilee.
And the reason for that, here, dude, if you want to sit up here or not, you want to be, I'm trying to make you a fucking star, dude. So I went through and I found all of Andrei Jikh's videos from the last year or so where he talks about NFTs. Yes, he may have not been formally sponsored by someone with an NFT, but he indirectly was essentially trying to pull a pump and dump on his audience.
NFTs, everyone is talking about them again. This new and awesome investment opportunity that promises to make you a ton of money.
Didn't he just say, people are just trying to use and make money, and that's not exciting? Didn't he say that? I'm only including this next part because it's so weird.
First time in human history, we are waking up to realize that we have access to a technology that doesn't give up control over ourselves to other corporations who have made these deals behind closed doors and have cut us out, and we were not invited to that party. For the first time,
Now, in this next video, which came out a month later, Andrei begins what I will describe shortly as the pump.
Here is why I invested $150,000 and bought 16 million OMI tokens.
Right.
I'm not making this video for the sake of pumping the price of this coin to the moon.
Let me just be clear, when you have to say that in your video, that's exactly what you're most likely trying to do. Remember, Andrei is a magician. Magicians get up in front of crowds or in front of people who know that they're trying to fool them, and then they still fool them.
I own 16 million OMI tokens.
Now he starts talking about this thing called the VV platform.
The VV platform allows us to buy, sell, and trade with our friends.
Look how smiley he is. Hey.
The VV platform allows us to sell and trade with our friends, all of our favorite collectible nerdy things that we still love watching and growing up with back when we were kids.
Hey, Andrei, I never had a childhood.
OMI is one of the currencies that you can use on the VV platform.
Now remember, he's not sponsored by OMI. He just owns a ton of them.
I own 16 million OMI tokens.
He thought, and I say thought because it didn't happen, he thought it was going to go to the moon and beyond, and that he would just ride this wave that he'd helped create. This is what's going on here.
Shopping around on the VV platform, and I wanted to buy a Superman collectible, and let's say it was worth $500.
Not sponsored. And I'm saying that literally, he's not sponsored. But Andrei, why are you taking time out of your day to show me how to use an app? God, what a good guy. You're such a good guy.
Send $500 worth of OMI to my OMI wallet and then convert it into gems. And I would get,
Oh my God, father. This is a grift.
I know it sounds complicated, but that's just to keep things simple, because if they showed everything in terms of OMI tokens on the app, it would be worth 10 million one day, 5 million the next, 20 million the next.
Wow, Andrei.
Wouldn't even make
Andrei,
any
those
sense.
are big numbers. You think I could get that kind of money? I mean, geez, you just put that in my mind. Suggestion. Woohoo.
So to keep things stable, they made these gems. One of the nice things about OMI is that it's a deflationary currency with a max.
I love how he just calls it a currency, and I know technically, I guess it is, but it's one of these, it's internet funny money. Someone just made it up.
In order for the network not to be left with nothing, just burning these coins out of existence, a percent of those OMI tokens gets used towards buying back and injecting the system with more.
Sounds legit. Where do I sign up?
It's a really interesting mathematical solution that you do not need to know. This happens behind the scenes.
A lot of trust in that.
Hey, Andrei, what's up with the math? Shut the up, okay? Whee!
Didn't he also say something about how, like, they're having these secret meetings behind closed doors and, you know, we weren't invited, and now he's like, don't worry, this is just happening behind the scenes. He's like, shut the up.
This happens behind the scenes.
Where you're not allowed, you little civilian.
But I was up over $50,000 on my initial
God.
investment because that is
And now I'm in the gutter. Where you belong, scummy.
the literal definition of a pump and dump, and I'm not into that. I don't want to make money at the expense of people watching my videos.
Dude, again, this is old. This is old Andre. This guy was nauseating back in 2021.
But I do have something like $150,000 invested in it,
Oh, I didn't realize that. Did he not say that before? Oh, he did say that.
or 16 million coins.
Right.
But that is nothing.
But just a real quick reminder of just how much money I put in this. So, not saying you should buy it, but you can definitely trust it because I sure did with my $150,000.
In comparison to the wallets that I've seen of some people who put in several million dollars into this coin.
Yeah, just another reminder why this is trustworthy and totally legit.
If you think about it, what stops another corporation
Andre, no, we don't want to think, Andre. We just want to get excited.
from taking a ton of money and buying the exact same licenses and rebuilding the exact same platform, but maybe a little bit shinier and better? Nothing.
Oh, I know it stops them. They want to make money. And this is just a great way for them to sink a bunch of money that they'll write off later. But somebody will probably get fired because they're going to say, what the were you doing? That's why they don't do it, Andre. You stupid idiot.
That's the bad news. The good news is that you could make that critique against almost anything.
Yeah, like my mother. I can just rebuild her. I sound like Sam Bankman. My mom, who she's a cyborg.
Including Tesla, which is obviously very highly valued, despite the fact that there are other car competitors in the EV.
He's comparing Omi coin to a fucking Tesla. How dumb does he think people are?
People believe in its potential, and because they are
Or because it's a business that makes money, you stupid idiot.
years ahead of everybody else, and that's the way I'm treating Ecomi. Overall, all of those things are short-term price risks, which you should know about, but long-term, as long as the
But long term, there's nothing to worry about.
Ecomi team continues to work on this and continue to improve the project, I think long-term, as long as this NFT concept is legit, which I happen to think it is, then they'll do really well. But those are all the negatives. Now let's talk about some positives that could send the price
Wait, those were negatives? I thought that sounded pretty positive.
of Omi to the moon and beyond.
Okay, this is what he wants you to think, that Omi's going to the moon and beyond. And that's what he thinks, but he thinks it because he's going to be able to get you to directly or indirectly support it, which will help the price go up. There's a couple things he does here. He knows what he's doing. He's just going to start talking about we. So you didn't buy any of this shit, but now you already did. You're part of the crew. You're an Omi homie now. So he does that, and then all these references to things that go or have gone really high in price. By the way, my dog right now, look at this guy. He's like a little baby. Oh, Father, please stop talking about Andrei Jikh and just cuddle me, Father, please. He's trying to get you to think about all these things that you missed out on, right?
The price would go over 9,000. We would balloon to be larger than Snorlax. But of course, the more brands we get involved, the more people get excited and join the platform.
Andre, what do you mean we? I haven't signed up yet.
Another big catalyst is if we get listed on a decent exchange.
I feel like I'm being manipulative, trying to make you love me by associating me with a little cute doggy, but I have to pick up his every day, so he's not a prop.
If we get listed on something like Binance or Kraken or even Gemini or Coinbase, then that would be huge. Price prediction wise, here it is. $1 by tomorrow.
Like, really, dude? Was that funny?
No, I'm just kidding.
But seriously, I want you to think about that, because if it happened, you'd probably miss out. You better get into this shit. You better fucking do it.
I have no idea what the price is going to be in the short term. Long term, I have no idea either. But if you're somebody who believes in the NFT space, I think it is one of the best plays to enter NFTs and actually
Not financial advice. It doesn't sound like financial advice, for God's sake.
get some sort of a return, because in the long term, I think we'll go to the moon. In the short term, it's a roller coaster, so I would not invest all of my money. Only invest what you're willing to lose. All in, Andre.
Oh, suggestion.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Okay, the next video we're about to see came from November 1st. So it was March, April, and then followed up in November 2021.
This is the riskiest investment in my entire portfolio, and it is also my most speculative strategy on becoming a multimillionaire with NFTs using the Omi cryptocurrency. At the beginning of this year, somewhere around March-ish, I invested about $150,000. The way people make money is they resell their NFTs, which can sell anywhere between 100 to 1,000 times their original price. Omi token, which is the thing I invested $150,000 into. I'm really embarrassed to admit how much I paid for this because it's not very frugal of me. When this first came out, it was MSRP'd at $400, which already is insanely high. but I bought it secondhand in the marketplace for $11,800. I've got no comment.
Thanks, everyone, for clicking my BlockFi link.
Now, it could be worthless tomorrow, or it could go to $1 million.
I want to point something out. I just thought of this. So Andrei said, the number escapes me, but it's a ballpark. He made 1.7 mil gross from his, what he would categorize as affiliates. That would be like when you sign up for BlockFi or Robinhood or whatever through his links. At this point, so this is November of 2021, I would imagine he'd made well over $1 million thus far, but let's just say $1 million clean at this point in 2021 from affiliates. There is no way in hell, if you're him and you have any business sense, which he obviously does, he's a scumbag, but he knows how to monetize his scumminess. At this point, you would never do this for free. Now, I'm not saying that he was getting paid by them, but he obviously has to have an extreme vested interest in doing that. Now, Andrei would tell you, I said I had a vested interest. He's talking to children. They don't understand. There's no way he'd make a video showing off this app like this unless he felt like he could get his audience to go and use it and do certain things in it that would line his pockets.
The highest gaining crypto by percent is actually OMI.
Something did great in the past. People think it just continues on at that level. It's a weird little cognitive glitch we all have. And so Andrei is more than happy to show you that since I think the time period he shows is like less than a year.
And SHIB and more than Doge. From January 1st till now,
which is like less than a year,
it gained roughly 16,366%, which means if you had invested $10,000 on January 1st, today you'd have something like $1.63 million.
Hey, don't miss out, guys. Just saying.
And if there's more people that can buy it, because there's a simpler process, the more the value goes up. So just for context, by the way, SHIB's 24-hour.
Now, what he does here is he's going to compare it to SHIB, which was one of the biggest pumps probably ever. It's another way for him to say, hey, remember that crazy thing that some people made insane amounts of money on? Look how likely it is that this thing I'm telling you about is going to actually do better than that.
Trading volume is about $7.75 billion because they have over 100 trading pairs and they're listed on so many exchanges. In comparison to OMI, which only has $10 million traded in the last 24 hours because they only have 5 trading pairs and they're not listed anywhere. You're telling me that a meme coin has 770...
I'm going to start jacking all his moves just to make you guys laugh. I'm going to learn magic. I'm going to be an adult magician.
And is 28 times more valuable than a brand that has some of the most popular licenses in the world, along with the coolest NFT app in the marketplace?
Not endorsed to say that, by the way.
I don't know about that. So if OMI can match SHIB's market cap value, each token could be valued at 17 cents roughly, which means my initial investment could go up.
Like, this is real. He really said all this.
$75 million. Now, will it actually get there? I don't know is the honest answer, but I speculate that I have a good probability of getting there.
Do you know how dumb he is? And it's not dumb, because he's definitely at this point, I'm not giving him the ignorant pass anymore. This guy is, ugh. I need to take a shower.
Once you actually download the VV app, you can scan this QR code and follow.
Look at that smiley guy. Hey.
Me in the app where we can show each other our collectibles. And
hey, Mr. Smiley Pants.
I want to give a huge shout out to Foster Hilt, who helped me out with this video, and he's a huge OMI content.
He's like in Chris Franco, the OMI god. This is the 4th video in this collection of videos that Andrei made about NFTs. This is a quick one. This video was actually titled, wait for it, How to Make Money with NFTs, My Top 3. And not surprisingly, one of the top 3 was the VV app, which is where you also get your OMI.
Of course.
Or you need your OMI.
It's something I'm very biased about because I have 79 NFTs here, and that of course is the VV platform. Now, I've spent about $30,000.
He loves showing people how much money he's put into things, which on the surface level is transparency, but most of his audience and most people generally don't have $30,000 or $150,000 to throw into something this stupid. And so by him saying he did it and people mistakenly thinking he's actually knowledgeable, it just makes them feel way more comfortable putting whatever they're putting in. So if someone's saying, hey, we're going to put in, $50 or $100, they're like, oh my God, Andrei put in $150,000. I mean, geez, we could put in $100.
Like, why would anyone spend $30,000 on pictures? But 2 of the collectibles I've bought on this platform could now pay for everything I've spent and then some.
Wow, Andrei, good for you. We finish on a high note, and I'm going in order here, so let's watch this. There's a lot for me to make fun of.
And that is clearly NFTs. Because think about it. What better way is there to signal to friends and strangers that live potentially on the other side of the world that you're so successful and so rich that you could drop drop hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on a JPEG. Now you might think, well, that's silly, I'd never do that. But the truth is, NFTs have democratized this idea of exclusive ownership. Because nowadays, anyone can spend $7 on an NFT that might someday change your life. And that's a piece.
Listen to what he said. You can spend $7 and it could change your life.
Because no other Veblen good before it has had that kind of a network effect. NFTs, and sometimes they make for really good investments. And as soon as I realized that, I started to buy them. And here's exactly what I bought.
You guys get the idea, but there's a last part here I have to show you. I'm going to conclude here as Andrei compares NFTs to being like an invitation to an exclusive party.
The higher the market cap, the more awareness around the world, because ultimately what NFTs are is an invitation to an exclusive party. And the higher the market cap, the more awareness around the world that there's a party going on. And the fewer invitations your party has, the more valuable they can become quicker. Because
by the way,
increases
I'm actually working on my impression of him in real time.
the odds that someday a really wealthy person could stop by at your party and pay you a ridiculous amount of money to come to it. Now,
okay, CMQ investors, I'm going to leave it here. I've got one more Andrei Jikh video in the can that I'll probably try to get out to you guys in the next couple of days. If you haven't seen my other videos about him, I recommend those, as well as all the other content that I have on the channel. It's meant to give you wisdom you can use as an investor over the long term, wisdom that really works. With that being said, my name is Chris Franco. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk soon.